Hello everyone, this is Red Dude. What is your sexual fantasy that will remain a fantasy? NSFW. Having a penis for a day. I would just stick it into so many things. Your comment reminds me of a woman I bartended with years ago. One night she turned to me, a little drunk, and said, "I wish I had a penis." I asked her if she was slightly transgender or something, and I'll never forget her reply. She said, "No. I just want to know what the hell is so fascinating about sex for men, cause I got to tell you, as a woman, it ain't all that." Being able to go to some private cabin rental where my wife and I could live completely naked and have sex whenever we wanted, could swim in a pool hot tub for a week or so. My husband and I did this for our honeymoon. Rented an Airbnb for a long weekend and only packed 2 pairs of clothes for when we went to the store for stuff to grill. It was on a private lake in southern Illinois and the closest neighbor was 3 miles away. Nothing compares to waking up, having sex while the oven is preheating, then taking a morning hot tub time together while the cinnamon rolls are baking. 10/10 recommend. Not a fantasy, that is a life goal. Do it before it's too late. Sex on shrooms, I think it would be fun, but I've never been with someone I trust enough to do it. I'm glad you brought this one up. Because I'm not sure I could have sex on shrooms. I once took a shower and spent several minutes laughing at how silly my genitals look. Then again, it could also turn out awesome, but I never got to that point. Threesomes. I was given the opportunity to be in one recently, but the thought of it just seemed weird. My ex and her were also the ones offering, so that may have been an attributing factor. Having sex in space. Like zero-G sex. Once they get that hotel in orbit, I bet that will be very popular. I'm standing in some sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at me. Jerkin to the jerkins. Having sex with a female version of myself from an alternate reality. Damn, knowing me, I won't be my type and I would turn me down hard. Being taken against a wall of an upscale performing arts center by my who's wearing a tux while I wear a fancy dress. Or being teased and felt up in the back of an Uber or limo in the same garb following such an event. And of course an all-night fuckfest that leaves our bedroom looking as if a windstorm blew through it and our bodies completely sore and worn out. You know, I'd never thought about this situation, but after reading this same. When I was younger, 48M, a lot of partners used to scratch my back so hard it would draw blood. The shower the next day always stung in a very satisfying way. My wife won't do that no matter how elated she gets, she says she refuses to hurt me. However, these days, I'm an old dad, my fantasy is for the kids, 2 and 6, to go to bed early enough so that my wife and I aren't too tired. That would be awesome. I once had a dream where I made love with a physical embodiment of the ocean. She wrapped me in her waves and covered me with her foam, totally beyond my understanding. I would have happily drowned in her, but she pushed me back to shore by the end and left me stones of 5 colors. Also, she spoke Spanish, or some dream version of it. I never came so hard in all my life, like my legs were full of batteries. By far the most intense dream I've ever had and it'll never happen again. Talk about a wet dream, huh? Pretty cool spin to Mona. Blowjobs. Did all kind of debauchery in bed, dildos, anal plugs, softcore BDSM. But when it comes to blowjobs, she just won't do it, says she doesn't like it. I respect my woman and her likes and dislikes in sex, but since this is the first and only real relationship I got ever since I was 19, 25 now, getting a BJ is just this fantasy for me. For those that says penetrative is best, I can't really comment in this matter since that's all I got, and you all know that sometimes the thing that you can't do or get makes you crave for it even more. Guess that's just me, Lamau. I wish my wife were as comfortable with sex as I am. If she could just see how beautiful and sexy she is, the same way I see her, I think it would help some. Love that woman to death, but she's her own worst critic sometimes. My wife being comfortable enough with her body to let me fully undress her during foreplay and sexual acts. She's given birth to 5 kids, and no matter how much I tell her how beautiful she is, she won't let me. Being tied up by a woman and used as a sex toy. That's easy to do. I don't know why should it remain a fantasy. I remember one of the best orgasms of my life. I just met a girl from another country while on holidays, we had sex a few times, and then she left, she came back to her country. After a few weeks she invited me to visit her country, I said why not. So I went there, the first night she tied me up and she put some dominatrix outfit while I was there naked. While she was putting her dominatrix boots on, I started thinking about what the fuck am I doing in a country where nobody knows me, alone with a girl I barely know, and tied up. The tension and the relief of the orgasm was so good that I almost lost consciousness, I slept like a baby. She was a very nice girl, she took care of me, and we had a good week together after that. Edit with the full story and some more context that some people have asked. She came to Spain, her UNCLE and aunt are retirees and have a house here, so she came to be with them for 10 days and spend part of the summer in Mallorca like millions of Germans do every year. She was alone and bored, so she used a dating app to meet people from here, and I was there, I live here. In Spain. The first few days we just hanged out as friends, we're both kinda shy, I showed her nice beaches, we swam in the sea together at night, we had a great time together. The third day we went party, and with the help of alcohol I did the first move. We made out, the next day we met again and we had sex, and we kept it that way until she had to go back to Germany, a summer love, everything was vanilla sex while we were in Spain. After a few weeks of texting every day she invited me to go there and the plane ticket was cheap, less than $100, and I didn't even need a hotel, I could stay in her apartment, so why not? Then I picked up the flight, she picked me up at the airport and we visited some places in her hometown and we were making out here and there all the afternoon, accumulating sexual tension for hours. We get to her apartment and we start making out on her bed, then she said she had a surprise. I was lying on the bed when she tied me, I had my legs still free, but she tied my hands to the metal headboard of the bed. When the paranoia kinda hit, I was never really scared. Just tense, I tried to move to feel how trapped I was, and my own body weight kept the headboard in place, and the headboard was metallic, so I had zero chances of escaping. I was at her mercy, she got me naked, and then she got naked herself while foreplaying just to stop there and go to the closet to pick her outfit while I was watching. She wore high boots above the knees and a top corset-like, with nothing else in between, no underwear, super sexy, plus the tension. I didn't know her that well, it was a very weird situation, I was super tense because of the sense of danger and being trapped, but it was one of the horniest moments of my life at the same time. 5 years later I remember it like it was yesterday. After that week in Germany she came to Spain a few times more, I went to Germany a few times more too. But I'm too dumb to learn German and I wouldn't fit there. If she was British or Italian or from any country with a language that is easy to learn for a Spaniard, I'd probably still be with her. We still talk a few times every year, but we haven't seen each other for years. This video's featured comment is from Eglos. Dinner and drinks with NGF, now wife cute petite brunette, and her best friend, cute petite retard. I'm tall with an athletic build. All of us had a bit too much to drink, so GF and I crashed on her friend's couch for the night. I was laying down on the couch in shorts and a tee, they were chatting, standing, in shorts and a tee, and nothing else. They just started making out before they gave me a look. I wasn't going to say no. We talked about it the next day and made sure everything was cool, it was. Zero weirdness following it. They're still the best of friends. Thank you for watching this video, if you liked it, consider checking out my other content.